It's like shock to pod. There are 3 levels to touch to transmit shock to pod. And that can be by a touch, a physical touch. It can be by a mantra. It can be by a look, or it can be by a thought. Like when I look at some people, their kundalini starts rising. They start feeling warm. Some, when they start feeling, they'll start looking someplace else because something starts happening in them. And they go, wait a minute, something's happening in me, and they think they start putting something on it. So a lot of times when I'm transferring the darshan, that energy, you see, the transfer of that energy, being able to do anything, being able to overcome death. You see, the illusion of death. Christ, that's a God power.
Blessings of Light. I'm Reverend Harrison Roy Hesketh, and you're about to see a lecture. When we begin the path, sometimes we do not know, for the path is windy, and we do not see the bends or the end. But as we travel the path, it becomes straight and narrow until we reach our goal. Sit back and intensify now your attention, concentration, observation, into a meditative state, and open your contemplative and superconscious natures to absorb blessings. Blessings of Light. This is a master class on December the 8th, 1979. December the 9th, 1979. I'm Reverend Harrison Roy Hesketh, Nanda, the channel. Each morning I offer my body, my mind, and any ability that I possess to be used by Thee, O Infinite Creator, in whatever way Thou dost chooses to express Thyself through me. I know that all work is Thy work, and that no task is too difficult or too menial when offered to Thee in loving service. Affirmation for this week: there is a miracle inside of you. The movement of this atom on each one of the dimensions is absolutely the same. The same as today, yesterday, and always. On all dimensions, there are just different octaves of expression. Within you, there are 7 that we are studying, the 7 octaves of your expression, or the 7 levels or planes of your consciousness. Each one of these chakras have an inner as well as an outer consciousness of that particular plane, being the seen and unseen, attunements to it. Your outer physical form has dimensions as well as all the other outer forms, but the inner physical form is invisible. You have an outer expression of your emotions, and you have an invisible as well as an inner expression. Same with mind, environmental awareness, creative, individual, and spiritual consciousness. You're moving between 2 diamonds on the bridges of light. These bridges of light that we've been teaching you is for movement of your light body in the realms of light. And so the movement of your light body is done by adaptation to different spectrums of light, different
polarities as well as octaves of light. In your nervous system, and throughout these centers, operated from the brain, there's a webbing of light through you, your light body, that is pretty much held intact by the nervous system. The nervous system, the light moving over it, as information from the brain to the rest of the body, over the spinal cord, through the medulla oblongata, from a cave within the brain where the invisible spirit self sits, known in the Hindu teachings as the cave of Brahma, or the Creator. It's right in the center of the brain. It has the ability to look through the pineal gland forward and through the pituitary gland backward. It's balanced in the center of the brain. Within that Atman, spirit body, sitting in the cave of Brahma, or that spark of divine light that you are, sitting in the center of the brain at the atom level of consciousness, with the consciousness of your atom as an infinite expression of God, coming from your basic seed atom to your infinite expansion of spirit. This particular atom that sits there gets all the other atoms to work with it because it has created all the other atoms. It has created the physical atoms. It has created the emotional atoms, the mental atoms. It has created the soul atoms, the creative forces that's within you, this pure creator, and has ability to project that into creation. Within this sphere of interdimensional consciousness, there's a realization of infinite inner space, as there is a realization of outer infinite space. These must be balanced. The outer kingdom cannot take more light than the inner kingdom, otherwise the light is not being used properly. If you are spending more light than you're getting, it means you have to take that light from somebody else that is getting light. That's why we have a lot of psychic vampires these days, because they are getting light that they're not giving, and they're taking light from others and giving it. You're to let your own light that's in you shine through you. And you're pulling from two sources to this particular cave. One is known as the white diamond. The white diamond. And the other is known as the black diamond. The energy between these two diamonds is called a flow or power. And this is a power bridge that plays between the movement of light between these two diamonds. The movement of light between these two diamonds, one fixed in the outer dimensions and within, the other fixed in the higher octaves of being where you are going. The white diamond is to be obtained. The black diamond is to be transcended. This is called crystalline power. Crystal power. Before you can control any other atmospheres of consciousness, you must control your own atmospheres of consciousness. You must control the atmosphere around your physical being. The one that you have that you can control is your own room at home, or your own home, whichever the case may be. That must be kept in such a condition. If the Master should come today, he is welcome. You wouldn't have to go fix up anything. The same way with your appearance. You're ready. You're presentable to the Master. The Master representing God coming into your home. You will get out of life what you expect. If you expect anything less than Master, you'll get less. The light bridges of crystalline power flow between these two crystals. Between these two crystals here, between the black diamond and the white diamond. And all creation is manifesting through these two. The pure consciousness coming in the white diamond and the unmanifest coming in the black diamond. Manifest, unmanifest. Now, if the energy falls through the black diamond, it gets unmanifest and falls into darkness. If it falls through the black diamond, it goes unmanifest. And you fall into darkness. They're unmanifesting certain things. There are certain things that you can give to this. All your bad habits, all your unwanted vibrations, you can send through the black diamond to have unmanifested. Because nothing can come in from this upper level, an upper diamond, until there is a clear channel for it to flow to its reflective power, reflecting in the black diamond, not through it. The black diamond is known as the world of shadows as well. You are putting these lenses over your pure being Atman body. This is two ways of looking through the Atman spirit body. This first level and this last level this class starts at 3 o'clock, not a quarter after 3. Pure consciousness, pure consciousness. This is the purified consciousness at the physical level. Now understand that all physical manifestation has a definite system or cycle to it. Everything that is manifest has a definite prescribed cycle to it. To flow with the natural forces is to enlist the power of the elementals, is to let them do what they do and don't try to change them. Don't try to change the wind, the water, the earth, the air. They're unchangeable. The eaters are unchangeable. The light is unchangeable. Everything is in fixed patterns, fixed systems. To have the power of the black diamond, you must flow with the law of all manifested things. This is the pure consciousness in the base center. When in this black diamond, you look like you're sitting in a crystalline energy with a dark background to it. When you're in the white diamond, you are sitting in crystalline energy with no background. Infinite. So the black diamond looks like it has dark behind it, but it is crystal. The white diamond is clear all the way through. It's an infinite state of pure consciousness. The black background represents the limited form to the black diamond. The white diamond is limitless. It has no beginning and no end. It's in the state of being. This is at the base center. This purity must take effect. To be pure in all the things you are doing, outward in action. All actions must be pure actions. Pure actions aren't preconditioned actions. They are not preconditioned. They are pure. Pure actions are spontaneous actions. They are not contrived actions. They are spontaneous actions. All senses are seen for exactly what they are and doing the job that they do, and are controlled thusly, not lustly. Sexual experience must be held in God creation and not misused. Now this movement of the energy flowing upwards here through this consciousness of purity to the outer world lets a clear vision of the outer world be seen. It does not give any preconditioned awareness. It is seeing it for exactly what it is. In the time and in the space it is operating. In the movement of energies, one of the basic energies here that has the most potent force is the sexual energy. In the strictest sense of the word, sexual energy should only be used for procreation. All the rest of it should be turned inwards and upwards in an alchemy to gain power and light in God consciousness. That is the highest use. Now there are energizers, or an energy vortex that increases vital forces. So coming out of this pure state is this energy. the 6 vitalities. The 6 vitalities nourish each one of the levels with energy up to the individual self. The top level never has to be energized. It is in pure power. This pure consciousness is pure power. It can do anything. It is all potentials. The white diamond is all potentials. But this energy that is coming, that has form, must have some way of being controlled, and it is controlled by energy. Energy is moving or action. And the 6 vitalities here come from each of the petals of the spleen chakra. And it sends over the nervous system the 6 vitalities, energizing and vitalizing the physical body, the emotional body, the lower mental body, the soul body, the creative body, and the individual spirit monad or spirit body. This vitality comes from an outer source. Remember, the pure white diamond is an inner source. The black diamond is from outer source, things coming up from it into creation. Now, some lower magic is done out of the black diamond, but the white magician does not work from, the black diamond. He only channels the energies from that level consciously with his spirit body, his divine director. These must be consciously attuned to send this energy through the body. The energy is coming from the radiation of sunlight, which stimulates prana, or vital forces. That is taken into the nervous system through the spleen chakra and attuned to the power that's coming, both positive and negative, into the black diamond. This power is neutral. It doesn't have neither positive nor negative. It is the potential of all things. So this dual polarity or dual action of the physical manifestation comes together with the energizing rays of pranic force or life force or vital force energies as stimulated by the sun. God sends energy both to the sun and to man. That energy that comes to man comes through his spirit. The energy that comes from God to the sun comes from the spirit of the sun. This energy is flowing upwards now, and flowing upwards to all the other chakra vortexes in the body. Moving up to the next level, the dual power coming as one from the earth, mixing with the 6 vitalities, becomes 7 forces. Seven forces plus 3 divine forces, making 10 petals on this chakra. Four at the base, 6 at the spleen, and 10 at the center of forces. The first one with the 4 petals is the root chakra, controlling physical. The 6 vitalities control emoting forces. how you energize each one of the levels, how you energize your mind, thinking mind, how you energize your emotions, how you energize your physical body. And those petals can be opened at different degrees, so you are getting different manifestations of light and causing the atoms on that level to vibrate at the particular level it vibrates at. Vitalities are pure attunement to that force that's coming in, vital force energy in its pure state, not step down or try to step it up. Either one, it's coming in its natural state. You are tuning to law. You are not manipulating this energy. The forces are directed by observation here of the thinking mind. This forces is also the 7, the one coming from the earth in its dual polarity, up to the 6 vitalities, energizing each one of the chakras. You have the creator, the sustainer, and the destroyer to work with. Those are the 3 divine levels. That's creator, the sustainer, and the destroyer. Some call the destroyer the transcender. This is actually a destroying force ability to disassemble. It gives an ability to assemble and disassemble as well as hold in form. These forces are very small power, but many people spend their whole life just to gather these lower energies and forces. They're not illumined until they get out of being caught up in the forms attached to them by possession of some sort. If they are possessing something, they are possessed by that. Whatever you possess, you are possessed by. Whatever is serving you, you are serving. Whatever is serving you, you are serving. Whatever you are possessing, you are also possessed by that. That fixes consciousness in a lesser expression and limits it from its boundless, infinite, eternal expression. Light comes at this heart level to know what to do with the forces and the energies that is coming from all these fixed material objects. By knowing them, you can now start performing the alchemy of how they all go together and how to put them together. If you're going to bake a cake, you get yourself some flour and shortening and some baking soda and a little vanilla and some eggs and some milk and a little bit of water, and you mix them up. You put them under heat to get them to work together, pressure and heat. They expand. There are some expanders within that. There are some that take and merge within that. And at the end product, you have a cake. If you miss any of the ingredients, if you miss like the baking soda, the thing won't rise. And you get a flat, heavy cake. And some people don't have anything in to raise them up in the physical dimension, so they get a lot of flat cakes. All the ingredients must be there for a proper mixing. Light is the ability to see. Light is manifested energy or spirit. Spirit in its first manifestation. God is light. It is the light of the world that lighteth every person that comes into the world. Dis-ease sets in. When the life is not flowing clearly into these dimensions and is being grounded out by some form, it then takes and deteriorates faster. Some people are losing their life through their attachments, through their karma, in grounding out light. It's by your light that you are known. When these energies, through the forces, reflect on the soul, sensation is felt within the soul. Healing takes place. The soul has been touched. The soul has touched. This must still go to a deeper awareness in you, your spirit. The soul is the accumulated vibrations of the experience of your spirit. It's everything your spirit has been through. That's your soul. Everything the spirit knows. You must protect this type of consciousness and not pollute the soul with erroneous knowledge, actions, feelings, forces, energies, perverted light. The soul's light must be pure light in order for it to be able to spontaneously experience directly every sensation of life. Some people's souls are being robbed of experience through their mind, through their emotions, through their fixations on the physical dimension, on objects outside of their physical bodies. Any attachment outside of the physical body grounds out energy. Dull sensation, and sensation will not give rise to perception. As this flows upwards to the spirit cannot perceive if the light is not going through the soul and reflecting upon the pure creative powers of the universe. Not the expression in this through your forces, your energy, or your fixed objects of the outer realms. When they take the light that is coming from the earth and from heaven, when it meets in the soul, If they don't match up, there is no flow. There is no channel of life. The heart must be open in order for a clear flow between heaven and earth. Your soul must be open. The soul that has been surrounded by fear and all of the other grotesque things trying to enter into it, fog up, cloud up, distort, pervert the perception of the outer experience, because perception cannot view through muddled sensations. Whatever's being chewed up in the forces over and over again, or re-energized by your desires and your emotions, energized by desires and emotions, controlled forces by thought and thinking, when they are not still and clear and flowing in on their natural law, sensation cannot be perceived clearly. This can get bound up pretty fast because this is the eye of the needle. Your Atman can move through that eye very easily. That little speck of light can move through that eye of the needle very easily. It cannot take the physical body through the eye of the needle. It cannot take emotions through the eye of the needle. It cannot take thoughts through the eye of the needle. Only your freed spirit can go back and forth between the two realms. Too many have the eye of their needle plugged up with thoughts and feelings and emotions and physical objects. They cannot withdraw their freed attention, freed concentration, and freed observation. That is calm. Because when this light, pure light, is calm, all things that reflect through it can be perceived. And only when you perceive them clearly do you have the idea clear. Only when you perceive them clearly do you have the ability to put your talent to use in this outer experience. Your creative powers that God has given you, the gifts of spirit to you, that only you and you alone can do, that no one else can do, that only you, the self in you, can do, that can play your part in the eternal movement of beingness. Perception arises to conception. Getting the idea of it gives you an inner mental picture. And if your imagination is corrupt or inactive, or full of fantasizing or false imaginings, you do not have clear conception. You have other things put on your picture. The person that cannot control their imagination, that cannot control their mind, cannot control the knowledge that comes to them, cannot control their emotions or their actions, is a laggard, is a weakling, is a sinner separate from the power of their own spirit. They have separated themselves and they fill their being with perverted life. They can only give out what they have. By their fruits they are known. What is their tree of life? What is their life giving to the world? Is it a consumer that is consuming more than it is giving? Is it passing all things quickly? You ever watch an Eastern Guru practicing this spontaneous action? They put a lei on, he takes the lei off and drops it along the way. He never is attached to any of that. He accepts it fully at the moment, and then he lets it go. He doesn't carry it around saying, oh, the people were nice to me today. He doesn't run around in selfishness. How many of the things do you have are you letting flow? How many of them are you binding? You have certain possessions you have bound. Well, when you bind them, they bind you. Whatever you are binding is binding you, because you must use yourself to do it. Now, some get around this by perverting others and letting others do their dirty work, and they say, well, I'm pure and clean. But if they have done it in their mind, they have a mental picture of it, they have a concept of it, they have a perception of it, they have bound their soul to that. What are you binding your light? How are you binding your light? Is it flowing? Are you a channel of light? Are you a master of your light? Or is someone else the master? Is some other spirit the master? You know, there may not be some outer force mastering you, but there may be some inner force that has got into you that is mastering you, because you have let it in by not watching the doorway or protecting your soul by putting yourself into perverted, non-essential, sidetracking, laggard-type sensations that take the energy and want to mull it over before they pass it. I have no tolerance for those type of people. They have held the human race up for hundreds of thousands of years. You have all of creation as your heritage. Why do you want to settle for an automobile, a house, money, or things that are transitory? You have all of eternity as your heritage. What are you claiming as your heritage? Where are you pouring your life? Fame, fortune, vanity, perception coming in the throat chakra flows through the inner peace. When there is inner peace, there is pure perception. When there is inner peace, there is pure perception. When there is a calm soul, not energy, consciousness that is conflicting one another in the soul, or knowledge that is opposed to other knowledge in yourself. You have knowledge that's opposed to other knowledge? Do you wish to be a success, but you know you're not a success? Do you have that kind of knowledge? What kind of knowledge do you have in this light that should be the pure light of the soul and not the corrupt light bound and binding the soul in lesser vibratory rates? through the true application of the laws, do you have the awareness to build the concepts, the precepts that you feel in your soul to project outwards through the forces and energies into the fixed manifestation? Concrete science out here. Most of this whole planet is green and has lots of greens to it because it is ensouling vibration, outer environmental consciousness, green, light, forces. Are you staying poised and balanced, or are you being swept by every breeze that passes by? Are you taken by every drop of water to the ground? Are you bogged down in sand and mud and quicksand and things like that? What is happening to you? Do you stay poised and balanced, or does every little thing in the outer world, every time it moves, affect you? Can you not see it has its basic form and it cannot do any more than that? You are intelligent beings. You are spiritual beings that have access to all intelligence. Do you even have access to your own soul's knowledge? All the experience of everything that your spirit has been through since it's been created? Do you have that open soul knowledge by opening your soul, opening outwards? Or is it closed up and no new knowledge is going to get in there? Suspicion is at the door. Non-trust is at the door. All of your justifications are at the door. What is holding you up? All of your emotions is at the door that is still emoting, hooked on to something. Are you still hooked on to that person you went to school with? You're still emoting towards, oh yeah, I remember that. You're still doing that? Or are you here right now? Because here's the only place there is. All the rest is fantasy. There's only one reality, and it's now. That's one of the laws. The law of here and now. Do you know the law of illusion? Do you know how that all these things that are basic earth and air and water and fire, do you know that this is an illusion right here? That it will go back to its basic substance that looks nothing like this? This is an illusion of those elements. The chair you're sitting on is an illusion of those elements. Does that look like earth and water and fire and air? Do you know the law of illusion? How things can be disguised. How things can be transformed before your eyes. You know the law of illusion. The laws. Do you know the law of the 7 deaths? That you must die to being the body. You must die to being your emotions. Once you die to that, you don't become reborn in that again. Your rebirth is in spirit. You cannot go back into your mother's womb and be born again. It is not that kind of birth. It is not that kind of death that is final and there's nothing there. It's not the sleeping death. It's the killing out of that it no longer exists as part of your association with illusion. You are not the body. You are not the emotions. You are not the mind. You are none of those things that you even conceive yourself to be. What is the monopoly of your knowledge as? Do you have the monopoly of consciousness as spirit or as scattered consciousness? Part of me is a body, part of me is emotions, part of me is mind, part of me is my knowledge, part of me is my creative powers, part of me is spirit. Did you cut yourself up in that way? And you feel yourself scattered in all the things you do? Haven't you brought yourself back together again and realized that you're one? One individual, like the one is one. The law of one, do you know the law of one? Do you know the law of keeping things in one? Did you pray for something and then go put it in the law of two? Take it out of the law of one and put it in the law of two by telling somebody else that may have ulterior motives for saying certain things to you? Let yourself get deluded? Have you gone and listened to their support of the way they're going to support your idea? Are they supporting you exactly the way you're presenting it, or are they putting something else in? You have time, space, and circumstance to corrupt you when you take your dreams, your prayers, your goals out of the law of one. Do you know these laws? Do you know the law of truth? You want truth to come to you? You must be truthful. Alike attracts alike. One of these laws does not cancel out the other law. One of these laws does not cancel out the other law. Do you know that law of truth? Do you know the law of cause and effect? Of impaction, of ascension, polarity, of suggestion. You know the law of suggestion in all of its little forms? Physical suggestions, emotional suggestions, musical suggestions, or coming along with the verbal type of suggestions, verbal suggestions, stop, go, yes, no. Physical suggestions. You know the auto-suggestion, that self-suggestion? Did you know that none of the other suggestions only work by the power of the mental suggestion? That the mental suggestion is the most powerful of all suggestions? Whether it's self-imposed or it's imposed by someone else? Did you know that every book you read makes mental suggestion? Did you know that every book you read has a vibration that emanates as a light and feeds some body in you? You know that the music you listen to has vibration that is light that goes into you? Do you know you're getting this from these outer things? Do you know that setting by the ocean gives you a vibration? That setting out in the woods gives you a vibration? Driving along in your automobile gives you the vibration of the machine? Do you know the natural vibrations of fire, water, earth, and air? Where are you focusing your consciousness? Where are you applying these laws to the fixed world of things? The four basic things that hold matter together: gravity, electromagnetics, and high and low nuclear action. The four things holding all of these forms together: gravity and electromagnetics and high and low nuclear reaction. What is your consciousness? If a bomb would blow up today, an A bomb would blow up in this place right here, atomic blast would go off, are you ready to go right now? You know that's going to happen in just a matter of 1/10 of a second. Did you know that the second coming of light is in a twinkling of an eye, and a twinkling of an eye is a thousandth of a second? You don't even have time to say, forgive me, God, in that thousandth of a second. Whatever you are, that's it. If you're a lesser light than that, if you're not ready to merge and do God's will and go with God's will, you'll be torn to pieces, burnt up. You'll be destroyed. Your soul will be destroyed. You know that? You still caught up in playing transitory games? Because if the light of your soul is lesser than that light, the very friction of transition will burn you up. That's why souls are so frightened of atomic energy. Souls are screaming all over this planet, let's get rid of all the atomic energy. Because they know the atomic structuring of your light body.